Welcome back to Audio Fanfics. Today we're reading The Sticky Feeling of Regret, a Markiplier fanfiction. It isn't often that the actor loses control of his scenes. Not when he's alone, his district attorney safely asleep for the moment. They've been frustratingly stubborn, this story, almost as though they've forgotten their role. Mark shakes his head, running his hand along the lifeless console. He's put away the props, the pre-programmed extras. It's not often he takes the time, lately, for it to just be him in the house. It's too quiet. It doesn't really surprise him when the lights go from their saturated blue and pink to a deep, bloody red. If he's honest with himself, but really, who needs honesty? He hasn't been surprised by his scenes misbehaving for a while now. He's almost come to expect it. At least, when the district attorney's awake. But in this moment, he's alone, out of character. The cryo chamber door opens slowly, and the actor sighs, back turned to it. "Do we have to do this now, Captain? That's not me." His own voice interrupts. Mark freezes, hands still laid on the inactive console. He closes his eyes, scrunches them together, as though doing so will block out the sound of his own wailing from his ears. "That's not me, Captain." "That's the best you can do. It's trite, predictable." Mark turns, wide grin plastered on his face to hide the way his hands are shaking. "How you managed to mimic my voice? Well, I suppose it was yours." It's not Damien, huddled in that chamber. There's none of the signature high-pitched ringing, none of the strange effect the other man brings with his presence. Instead, there's only Mark himself, still in costume, shaking. "Ah," the actor says, and the word holds a weight it shouldn't. It sinks heavily into the room, permeates the fake walls and fake computers and fake glass, makes him slightly more real, if only for the moment. "I'm sorry, I don't believe we're doing a scene right now. You'll have to leave." He taps his finger against the deadened console, and his mimic disappears. No fanfare, no redirection, the copy is simply gone, and Mark allows himself to relax. Really, he must be getting tired. How long has it been since he himself slept? Not that he truly needs to, but perhaps his mind could use the break. The district attorney is proving to be especially annoying, not slipping properly into the role as captain, and really, it is so difficult when you don't get to work with professionals. It might be best to simply reset the entire story, not just the scene, but... Mark groans, waving a hand to change the lights back to blue. Really, it's difficult to think with a horror thing going on. The lights stay red. "Hello? Captain, can you hear me?" Mark grimaces and turns his back to the door of the bridge. He taps the console idly. Something, somewhere, must be malfunctioning. The console is just a prop, of course, as is everything else. It remains lifeless under his touch. But the only other thing that could be malfunctioning is... "Captain, please! That isn't me! Not really! You have to believe... You have to believe me! I would never hurt..." "Shut up." "Shut up." And miraculously, the voice behind the door does. For a brief, glorious moment, the actor has blessed silence. But only for a moment. The sound that fills the bridge is overwhelming. Dozens of voices laid atop each other, waiting for him to listen. "Please, listen." There's Damien with his quiet, "Why?" Celine ranting and raving and screaming that he deserves to be alone, if this is how he treats those he loves. Will apologizing frantically and begging him not to go, not to die. There's Abe's voice, mixed in. Benjamin's in the shafts, too. Quieter than the noise of the others, but still there. Louder than the rest, nearly drowning them out, is his own voice. Not the one he uses now, not the one he's stolen from Damien, but his voice. Over and over again, repeating the same phrase. Just that one horrible phrase. "That's not me!" Mark rips the bracer off his costume, flinging it at the sealed door. The resulting clatter can barely be heard over the screaming and crying that fills the room, and his own, "I told you to shut up!" is too quiet to hear. The scene silences anyway, even though the actor put no power behind it. Really? That's not me? If we're doing this, at least do it well. How am I meant to react to that? It's easier to pretend, if only for the moment, that this is Damien's fault. What would you ask of me, Damien? Do you want me to fall to my knees, weeping and gnashing my teeth? Should you like a confession? Repentance? Why would I owe you either? This is your fault. Yours and Celine's and Will's. None of this is what I wanted. None of this is... There's still none of the ringing that accompanies Damien whenever his old friend dares to show his face. I'm talking to ghosts now, Mark says. Captain? The voice comes from the cryo chamber again, though the door has now closed itself. Captain, I think something's wrong. I'm alone. I'm not supposed to be alone, am I? I didn't mean to. I didn't want to hurt them. Please, Captain, don't leave me alone. Perhaps it's better to simply ignore it. Let whatever this is run its course. If he's too tired to stop the scene from playing, well, at least once it's done, it'll be over. I didn't want to. Not really. I was so alone, Captain. I couldn't escape. I thought I wouldn't be alone after that, but now I don't even know where I am. Can you hear me, Captain? That isn't me. Not anymore. Please, you have to help me. I don't know how to get back. Mark's breath hitches, and he walks slowly, purposefully, not running, to the other side of the bridge. You're all I have left, Captain. They'll never forgive me. Why would they? I wouldn't. I can't. That thing isn't me anymore, Captain. You have to help. Really? The actor bubbles, still facing the wall. It'd be more touching if the lighting was blue instead of red. This just makes it seem like a nightmare. Isn't it? The voice from the cryo chamber responds. An endless dream is a starring role. That's what you told Damien. Why shouldn't the dream become a nightmare from time to time? I suppose all dreams do. They don't have to. His voice is quiet now, comforting. You don't deserve forgiveness, but that doesn't mean you can't. I can't. You can, if you stop with the games. I can't. The voice goes silent at that, and Mark allows himself to lean against the wall for support. This is why he hates the quiet, why he keeps it all running, why he hasn't slept in however long it's been since he last slept. It's too easy to fall into old patterns. He doesn't have time to wallow. 10,000 questions, and he still doesn't have his answer. There are more scenes to play yet, lines to be rewritten, extras to direct. There's far too much to do to allow himself down this familiar rabbit hole, especially when his co-star is being so difficult. And if, hypothetically, he allows the lighting to stay red whilst he works, well, perhaps it's simply a sign of laziness and not any sort of deeper meaning. Why would it imply that he himself created the previous scene? No, he's simply still tired and the effort of changing the lighting back is too much. Hypothetically, of course.